Alright, first things first, if you want a template to use for this, check out the sidetrack. Otherwise you could just freehand cut these things. At some stage we will probably try and offer a way to just buy them from us, but that's a little bit down the track. Right, the first couple of questions in this handout are really just construction. They are there to make you build the object that we're going to play with. Now, I'm no fine arts student, but I think the picture on the handout is pretty self-explanatory, but just in case, bring those two, tape that together, bring those two, tape that together. I'm sure some clown will tape the wrong two ends together somehow or other, but there you have it, that's what you're looking for. Alright, question 3 is really where the fun begins. We want to know if this manifold, i.e. this thing that's made up of bits of paper stuck together in a smooth sort of way, we want to know if it has one or two sides. Well, can an ant get from here to there, or from here to there, from here to there, or anywhere else without having to go over a lip? You can try and misdirect your students by talking about the outsides of the cylinders and the insides of the cylinders, and you can ask if there's any way to get from one outside to one inside, and so on and so forth. But let them wrestle with it for a bit. So if you play around with it for a while, you will see that there are in fact two sides to this particular object, and that the only way to get from here to there is by going up over a lip somewhere. Now the two sides are kind of a little bit tricky in the sense that we can't really just talk about the outside, because the outside of this cylinder is sort of the same as the inside of that cylinder, and the outside of that cylinder is the same as the inside of this cylinder. But there's no way to get from the outside of that cylinder to the outside of this cylinder without at some stage having to walk over a lip. But that's all fun and games. The real crux of this handout is what happens when I cut down the center of these two cylinders. Have your students nut about it for a while and argue about what's going to happen before they even start cutting, and then once they've actually done the cut, have them try and figure out why what happens happens. Now, one easy way to see it, and again I would discourage you from telling your students this, is to start by doing a cut around one of these cylinders completely. If I cut all the way around this cylinder, I end up with sort of like a pair of handcuffs. Now, what have I got to do now? I've got to cut along this piece here. And I don't think it's actually so difficult at this stage to see what will happen as I cut along here. Assuming I can actually cut along here. But here we go. As I cut along here, you will see that it folds out to a beautiful square frame. Right, not so difficult. But again, have your students wrestle with it in their minds, and then once they're doing the cutting, see if they can figure it out why it happens. Alright, so let them at it.